Let me let the world know I am going live. Let me let the world know. Hey, everybody. Well, there's no one on here yet. Okay, people on my IG, I am going live right now. I'm gonna pin the link. I am going live right now for my update on my update. So if you guys want to watch me do my update, please go on live, go to my YouTube, the link in my bio, and watch my YouTube. Okay. So if you guys want to watch, I'm giving my update right now for Journey to Freedom. Journey to Freedom. So if you want to watch, you want to take part, Journey to Freedom, go to my YouTube now. I'll pin the link. I'm live on my YouTube channel providing my update. Let me go ahead and pin it. I don't know how to, y'all, I don't know. Hold up. I think it's youtube.com/C. Thank you for saying I'm pretty. Appreciate that. I'm gonna say love. Wait, it's Love Samantha Lee. That's what it is. That's what my name is. Love Samantha Lee. I am going to do that. So you guys come on right now. Let's go. Come on. Delore, I believe God can do anything. That I've seen him do miracles. So, but I'm gonna leave that there. But I'm live right now providing my updates for Journey to Freedom. Join me, YouTube Live. Go now. All right, I'm jumping off. But tune in. It's gonna be interesting. See y'all. All right, guys. So I am here. What's up, Ashley? What's up, girl? Power Up is in the building. Love to see it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube. This is my channel where I am talking about really my journey right now. So I am in a journey to freedom. Some of you guys don't know. Some of you guys do know. My journey to freedom is related to my eating disorder. This is about me getting past my eating disorder. I've struggled with the eating disorder for years. I've struggled with bulimia for years. And so as of recently, I decided to really get help for it because it kind of resurfaced. It's been on and off. It hasn't been a consistent thing. And in that, I found that it was actually really challenging to get services. It was challenging for me to figure out what services I actually needed. And so I decided I really feel like God put on my spirit to do a vlog about my eating disorder journey. And so here I am. This is episode 4 of my vlog. I've done 3 other episodes. And again, I have the type of, my bulimia manifests at this point in my life as me being restrictive. And then I basically binge. And then I over-exercise, or I can over-exercise, but really it falls into restriction. I restrict and over-exercise to compensate. So bulimia is really determined by a compensatory behavior to, like, when you're eating, you're doing something to get rid of what you just ate. That's what it is. And so for a lot of people, that's what it is. It can be laxative abuse. It can be actually, throwing up, whatever that is. There can be, I think there's another type. And then there's also the orthorexia, which I think that's where I fall in, where it's restrictive eating or restrictive calories throughout the week to make up for the binge. And so basically it kind of feeds into each other. It's a cycle. I restrict, binge, then restrict, binge, and it just kind of feeds into each other. So anyway, this week is going to be different. This is a different, I've provided updates in the past. For those that have been watching, this is my 3rd or 4th session with a dietitian now. So I've already had a therapist. I've had a therapist for 8 years. Y'all know I'm pro mental health, pro addressing your mental health. And so I've had a therapist for 8 years. And in that, I saw kind of some things popping up in my life that really resembled bulimia, kind of going back in that journey. So what ended up happening was my therapist was like, okay, you need to go X, Y, and Z. I did those things. At the point in my therapist, me and her, if she tells me something, I do it. It's kind of like we vibe on that level. And so, like I said, I've had a long-term relationship with her. And anybody that's dealing with any type of mental health issues, I strongly advocate to address your mental health. I can't be a therapist and then therefore not advocate for someone to be in therapy, so I'm very big about mental health. All right. All that being said, so this week, one of the big things for me that I struggled with, I had a little bit of a binge on, it's true times, me being honest. I had a little bit of a binge, and in this world is called a relapse. I had a binge on Sunday and Monday. I actually didn't want to tell y'all that, but I decided if I'm going to be on here and I'm going to be honest for real. So, the holiday came through and Sam was eating. And really, for me, a binge is defined as eating more than the average person in a setting. I like to eat. Sam has always liked to eat. Let's be clear. I've always liked to eat. I'm a big eater. I like to eat. Sam like to look good. Sam like to eat. It's two things that Sam like to do, and it does not serve me well in this journey of my life. But it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. So, in this situation, I had a baby. I call it a baby binge because it's not as bad as other binges that I've had, but it's still a binge. I'm eating more than the average person in that setting. What does that look like? Well, for me, it looks like eating over 1,000 calories in one sitting, which is not really that much, but I think for me, I can get to like 1,500 calories, like just dinner time to bed. That's where I eat 1,500. That's some people eat that throughout the day. I can eat that from dinner on. Okay. And it's really not, I think when you think about it, it's not that deep, but for me, that's what I consider a binge. Some people, it's 3,000 plus calories in one setting, right? So it varies for every person, but that's me. So I had a binge. It was 1,500 calories and whatever. And so one of my biggest things was that when I came back on Tuesday, let's be real, I wanted to restrict, y'all. It was very, very hard for me to not restrict, to not get back on to what I know to do to get rid of the behaviors. And because I did not restrict the way that my body wanted to restrict, which again, in these circles is relapsing. When you're dealing with something and you're trying to stop doing something, it's considered a relapse. And so I'm going to own the terminology, I relapsed. And so I had a binge and I wanted to restrict. And so I basically started restricting. I went on my MyFitnessPal app. I started doing my little calculations, doing what I do to try to lose whatever I gain. And I thought about what I was learning from my dietitian, but it didn't pop up in my brain like I needed it to. It didn't resonate with my spirit in that moment. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to eat more calories than I normally would, but I'm going to still track. And so that's where I'm at now. I'm still tracking my foods, but my dietitian really wants me to move from tracking to not tracking at all, which, y'all, is hard for me. Okay. And so anyway, digress. So that's where I'm at now. I basically have been I have not stepped on the scale in a couple weeks. So I don't know what I weigh. I probably weigh a low 130s, probably most likely. And so that's where I'm at. And so this week it's been challenging, right? It's been stressful. There's been a lot going on in my life. And so I've dealt with other things. My daughter, she is an ear infection. So I've been kind of dealing with that. And so it's been a lot of different things going on. So it's been with that extra added stress, there's been things in my life. So it's been kind of a challenging week in general, which has caused me to, not feel like when I'm trying to do what I know is healthy for me, it literally feels like I'm doing the opposite of what my body wants to do. Like I'm literally doing something completely different than what my body wants to do. And it causes a thing called cognitive dissonance. And so I'm struggling with cognitive dissonance. I'm struggling with feeling like I should be doing this and I'm doing that. And it's tough. And it causes a lot of stress on me. So I ain't gonna lie about that. It's caused me a lot of stress trying to do this a different way, because what I've realized is that what I'm addicted to, people got their vices, people got their different things that they into. My thing is really working out, exercising. I'm jumping ahead of myself, but this is where we're gonna get to, is that I've never not tried to lose weight. All of my life. I mean, all of my life. Some of y'all know me from my marriage and divorce. Well, pending divorce. But it's been one of those things where I've struggled. You know what I'm saying? I've struggled with my eating, and so I've had issues with eating, but not issues with eating, but the actual eating disordered part of it, or disordered eating part of it, showed its head recently, but it wasn't showing itself that way in my when I was married. So now it's kind of different. But I realized that I've always had a fixation on the way I look. And it comes down, y'all. If anybody knows my background, my mom is Ecuadorian and Jamaican. My daddy is white. And so on my mother's side, she's been very, very, my mother's side of the family, like Hispanic and Caribbean people, they're about your appearance. Your appearance is your currency. That's that. As a woman, that's what you are taught. It's not really about your character. Oh, cool, you have personality. Cool, you got a degree. But they don't really care about that. They really looking at your physical appearance. And so there was a lot of pressure on me growing up to look a certain way, to work out, to take care of myself, to always make sure I look good. And I don't take those things back, because I do believe, which is where I have the conflict. I do believe that there is a certain thing to women's currency, really, like, your appearance is important. Well, I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. So the fixation on my appearance really comes from what I was taught. I mean, y'all, when I was pregnant, I was working out. When I was pregnant with Soraya, I was like 41 weeks. We was going in to get induced because Soraya did not want to come out my stomach. And I worked out that Friday. I was on the treadmill that Friday. I was Zumbaing it up that Friday. I had my last training session with LJ on Friday. So I literally have this fixation about keeping myself up and looking a certain way and never letting myself go. And those things are positive, but when you go about it the wrong way, can become negative. Good things become negative all the time, right? Too much of a good thing can become a bad thing, right? It is what it is. And so in this situation, that's what happens. It becomes an idol. Exactly, Shanice. It becomes an idol. It becomes something bigger and deeper than what it was. And so for me, my fixation with being a certain weight has always been there. Y'all, I'm a woman that is lower body heavy. My thighs have always been thick. Always. I've had this thing with trying to thin my thighs out for years. I've never, ever been able to actually do it. But now I've gotten to a place where I embrace it, because it's a part of my beauty. I got the curvature. It is what it is. So it's like now I've tried to really I've really tried to embrace the parts of me that I've struggled with embracing. But I think that one thing I wanted to hone in on this video was that I have found that no matter what part of my life that I can recall, I've always wanted to be smaller. Always. Didn't matter how small I actually was. Didn't matter what I was actually like. It didn't matter. I was always trying to be smaller. And I realized that because I've kind of taught myself to always try to lose weight and always be doing this my whole life, it's, now it's like I don't know myself not trying to lose weight. And that's kind of what I find is my issue, is that I'm always trying, and whether I'm doing it in a disordered way or whether I'm doing it in a healthy way, I'm always doing it. I've always been doing it. The only time I think I was really trying to not restrict like that was when I was pregnant. And even then, I was mindful of what the weight I was gaining or not gaining. I still gained 50 pounds. It was what it was at some point. I was like, okay, I'm gonna gain this weight. It is what it is. But you're right. That's that island shade. Come on, MKJ, or MKG. Why can't I say it right? MKG. Absolutely. It's that island shape. You got that curvature, and then, you got the Caribbean, you got the Hispanic, you lower body, you get your lower body thicker. And at some point in my life, I think my dietitian this week, which y'all, they switched up my dietitians. And so my dietitian this week, which I really liked her, great vibe that we had. She was basically, really challenging that I start looking for things outside of my appearance to affirm myself in. She's like, you're a spiritual woman. Why don't God says you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And I was like, wow, I never even thought about that. I affirm myself in character traits and character things about myself. I don't affirm, I look at myself in the mirror and say, you are the most beautiful woman in the world. If no one else tells you that, Sam gonna tell you it first. And so I think that she was like, because I've put so much of my value into my appearance, it's very hard for me to let that go. And y'all, I don't really know where the balance is, because I do believe that the way you look is important. I do believe those things, but there's got to be a balancing act. And I haven't really figured that out yet. And so I'm doing this video just being transparent. I think a lot of us, because of the messages that we're getting from social media, I think a lot of us, from the things that we are reading, the things that we are seeing, we don't ever feel like we're enough. And maybe weight isn't your issue. Maybe it's something else that is a fixation of yours that you can't let go of. I remember when there was a time when I was talking to a doctor, and we were talking about different things going on. I was actually, going to get my breast done. I ain't gonna lie to you. It is what it is. And they said that a lot of women fall into depression after getting the breast done. I was like, why would you fall into depression? For me, y'all, look, I was small my whole life up top. So I couldn't wait. To get some, get something different. Okay. You hear what I'm saying? And so I decided to do this, and she said it's depression. I said, why would I get depressed for that? Like, that don't make sense. Why would somebody go into depression? And she said that because people think that once they get this, it's going to change everything, and it don't. It don't change everything. And because I didn't look at it as my solution or the one thing I needed to be. I loved it. I did not fall into that. But what I found with my weight is that because I am not okay with me right now, because I'm not at a place of peace with me right now, and I've never been, I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know what it looks like to be okay with me right now. I've never been okay with me right now. And so it's like being like, I'm okay with this, in that whether I go up or down, and like we talked about last week, releasing the number to God and allowing God to determine it for me. Like not allowing the number to be determined by me, because I'm short-sighted. I don't know what the other side is. God ultimately knows what the best weight is for me, and I'm gonna trust him with that. I always thought you were so beautiful, and I would have never thought you were struggling with the same weight issues as me. Thank you for this. Whew, that's gonna make me cry. That's the whole point. That's the whole point, MKG. The whole point of me being on here was for me to be honest about something that people may not know that I struggle with. That, yes, it looks like a pretty picture from the outside, but there's a lot that you don't see. And I did not want to do it, but I felt like God kept putting it on my spirit to do it. And so he did it. He had me do it. And I feel like there's a lot of people getting free from it. I'm just very thankful for that. But the reality of it all, and back to what I was, basically what I was saying was that because of that, you'll find that a lot of people on here, you'll find that you'll set a number, you reach the goal, and then you set another goal. You reach that goal, you set another goal. You reach that goal, you set another goal. And no goal is ever enough. No goal is ever enough. And so when you see that happening in your life, you realize that really the message that you believed or you've internalized is that you as you is not enough. You as you is not enough. And so therefore you keep adding different things, and you realize no matter how much you add, no matter how many times you add it, you still don't feel enough. Getting that number on the scale, it doesn't feel like enough. Getting those breasts didn't feel like enough. Getting in that relationship didn't feel like enough. Getting in that marriage didn't feel like enough. Getting the LCSW didn't feel like enough. You keep finding yourself in this position of this hamster wheel of life, and you realize that because you're trying to find satisfaction in things outside of you and things outside of God, you find yourself on this hamster wheel trying to find satisfaction, and you can't find it. You can't find it because those things are not in that. And so my challenge this week was really coming to terms with three things. First thing was that I have a real problem. And I can paint it like, oh, I just eat a lot, or, oh, I just went nuts with the food. Because food is one of those things, y'all. Let me tell you, food is one of those things. It's an okay drug. It's a drug. Food and alcohol, sex, all those things. Those are the things that are like, oh, that's an okay drug because it's not illegal. It's easily accessible. So you don't think of it. And the thing is, in certain contexts, they're not bad. And in certain moderational contexts and certain restrictions and limitations, they're not bad things. But when you look to it and you search for it and you need it in certain ways to where you're losing your soul because of it, that's when it's out of context. That's when it's out of order. And I realized that I was out of order. I realized I am out of order. I put so much into my physicality, which I'm not mad about. Look, y'all, Sam like being fine. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like it. I like taking care of myself. I like feeling good about myself. I like being able to wear certain things and be like, oh, I know I'm gonna get them with this one. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. Sam like that. Sam like that. You know? But I'm also at a place where there's got to be balance. That I can't put so much of my validation in that number. So much of my validation in achieving that goal that, y'all, I literally wasn't feeling good about myself. Like, I've got a friend of mine that sends me their weight and stuff like that, and we just go, that's the nature of our relationship, and encouraging each other in that way. And I can't step on the scale, so they send me their number, and I'm like, dang, I wish I could get on the scale. Like, it is a real effort on my behalf to not jump on the scale. Like, so for some of y'all that want to know whether I fall into this category too, for me, it's like a real issue not knowing my weight. I realize that this eating process, the losing weight process, like, I am so accustomed to having done that my whole life. I feel like I'm a little addicted to it. When I say a little, a lot. Because it literally pains me to not jump on the scale. It literally pains me to not be working out or doing something to lose weight. Like, I've been doing this my whole life. Exactly, Ashley. A lot of people do. Weigh yourself. I'm the same way. After I eat in the morning, after I eat at night, there'll be times where I know I'll weigh myself in the middle of the day because I ain't really ready to hear the truth yet. I'm really afraid of. And what they said to me is that, listen, don't look at the scale beyond how you feel. So when I first lost the weight in 2020, I didn't even buy a scale until I was completely done with my process. I mean, it was a 3-month process. I didn't get a scale until the 3rd month. I literally didn't know my weight. LJ wanted me to really focus on my, like, changing my body, which was so smart. LJ, you were so smart. If you watch this video, LJ, you were so smart, because really it's about how you feel. It's like, do I feel good? And sometimes that number determines whether or not we feel good about ourselves or not. Like, we can let that number be, like, we might feel like we have a good week, and we step on the scale, and that number on the scale is going to determine whether we really actually had a good week or not. It can take away the whole feeling of feeling accomplished, doing it the healthy way. And so, y'all, I've committed to not jumping on the scale. And that has been a challenge. That has been a challenge for your girl, man. And so the next challenge that I did not get into was not counting calories, which, I'm going to get into that eventually. I'll get there. Do you diet or balance how much you eat? I do. Her story, I do that. I'm mindful of how I eat. You know what I'm saying? I am very mindful of what I eat, how I eat. I cook my own meal prep. And so I am mindful of what I put in my mouth, how much of it I put in my mouth. I normally, during the week, if you catch me, I'm measuring things out. I'm counting the serving size. I separate it into bags. Like, I am very mindful. They're trying to get me out of that and more into just mindful eating. Like, I eat when I'm hungry. I eat, like, I don't, have to count or measure, but I'm very like that. How did you go that long? What helped you? I literally didn't buy a scale. I literally didn't have the scale in my house. I just did not go, like, me having to buy it to bring it to the house. That's why I waited that long. So I literally didn't have one in my house. That's the only way that I was able to go that long. That number absolutely can change your mood. That absolutely. And here's the thing, y'all. I'm talking about food and I'm talking about weight, but I can look at a number of things in our lives that may be your binge. Like, we all got a binge, right? We all have something that we turn to for comfort. For me, it's food. For me, food makes Sam feel better. I love to eat. But what happens with me is that after I eat, I feel guilty about how much I ate. And I'm not going to, in another point of my life, she was asking me in other parts of my life, did I have that conscience or whatever? And I did. I mean, I think in my marriage, I wasn't that hyper conscious because, in that situation, that wasn't necessary. Like, my ex wasn't like that. He wasn't big about, he was cool with me, whatever size I was, whether I was 50 pounds up with a baby or dropped 50 pounds. Like, he always knew I was going to kind of self-regulate. Before that, I was definitely on the hamster wheel, but I wasn't, it's like now, because I've gotten to a certain point, now that I've gotten to a certain point in my health journey where, y'all, I'm a low body fat percentage. I got abs, I've been working, y'all, I want to abs my whole life. I've gotten to a certain level, athletic wise, fitness wise. It's very hard for me to just let it go. I'm being honest with you. it's very, very hard because I feel like if I let go, the other epiphany moment was that I don't trust me to stay. I don't trust me. I don't trust me left up to my own devices. I believe I'm gonna go nuts. I believe if I just let myself go, I'm gonna just go nuts with it and find myself 30 pounds up one day. Like that's how I don't trust myself in the eating department. I just don't. And so I'm so restrictive because I don't trust that I'm going to eat what I need to eat. And what she's saying is you are worth trusting. Don't you think so? I was like, dang. I didn't even think about it like that. I'm at to work on that because I don't trust me. I don't trust me. I don't trust my eating habits. I don't trust the way I go about food. I don't trust, y'all let me near my chips, my nachos. You let me near the things that I love to eat. Oh, Sam is about to tear it up. That's what I do. I love to eat. Sam, I am a homebody and I love to eat. That's like my thing. I'm a homebody. I will watch my little shows on TV. Watch my little shows on TV so I go to sleep. I'm right here. Eat my little snacks. That's how I relax. That's how I decompress for the day. I watch my little shows, eat my little snacks, and I literally, during the week, I'm so restrictive. And what happens now is that because I'm so restrictive, for those of you who haven't seen my previous episodes, I am so restrictive throughout the week that my dietitian at the time was like, I'm not really sure if you're starving or you're binging because you're so restrictive. And then as soon as you get the opportunity to eat the things you want to eat, you can't control yourself. And so me being so restrictive is actually causing me to binge on these things even more. So the binging, so like being so restrictive in any area of your life, you know this, y'all know this. When we say we can't do it, when we tell ourselves, no, you can't have that. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. It makes you want that even more. Good, bad, or indifferent, if you tell you no, you gonna want that even more. Unless the situation for us, the situation has to be painful. Like we gotta touch the stove and know it's hot for us to stop. We get burned up once. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm done with that, God. You know what? You're right. I was wrong. Like that's what happens with us as people, right? So I am trying my very best to really just snack freely. I'm working on that. And not count the serving sizes. And just kind of like letting myself, she said, after I eat like a handful, like for example, y'all, I love extra toasted Cheez-Its. I love extra toasted Cheez-Its. I love them. Okay. So I like salty foods. Salty foods is my thing. Like chips, Cheez-Its, that's like my thing. Okay. Chips, Cheez-Its, y'all give me a Perrier original with a lime. Oh, Sam happy. Shoot, get my little red wine with a glass. Oh, you say I'm real happy. But I don't do wine during the week anymore. I don't do wine. I'm very occasional with my wine drinking. I don't drink at all. I used to drink a glass of wine every night. I don't do that at all anymore. The sugar content. Anyway, do I meal prep? So I think I answered, but yeah, so basically taking a handful of Cheez-Its, eating that, and then saying, and saying positive things about it. Like, that was good. That was salt. That had that little crunch to it. That's like saying positive things about it. Instead of what I normally do is I take a bag of cheese, take that Cheez-Its and be like, dang, I shouldn't eat this. This is about to put weight on me. This is going to put, something in my stomach. Like, I go there. I don't enjoy the food. I literally will condemn myself for eating the food while eating the food, and then condemn myself after eating the food. And so it causes like this shame, condemnation cycle. Then I go into binging. Then I go into restricting and over exercising. Like, that's what the cycle is. So that's what I'm working on, is just not just being more mindful and not so controlled, and starting to give myself a little bit of freedom, because the restriction aspect of it, she thinks is causing my brain to want to binge on those things. And so letting myself have it and being mindful about it all throughout the week. It doesn't have to be Saturday, Sunday. It's all throughout the week. That's what we're working towards. All right, so y'all, I'll go ahead and take some questions. That's basically my stuff for today. I hope you guys got something from this content, but I'm definitely here to answer the questions. So I see a question: do you meal prep? Yes, I do. I meal prep every week. Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Let me see. I think I might have missed some. Any other questions? But again, you guys, according to what I got going on while I'm waiting for other questions, like I said, it was about me. The epiphany moments was me really just not, it's an underlying, because of things that have been reinforced by my family, by my culture, underlying things that have always made me feel like I'm not enough as I am. And so I've always been trying to be enough. And the scale is one of the areas that I've always struggled with my whole life, is being a certain number on the scale. And that's where I'm at. If you guys are on here, like this video so that other people can get this content as well, is really helpful. I should have said that when other people were on, but I just got caught up in my story. But please like, share. This is about people that are really struggling with this. This is not a joke. It's not a game. It is real life. And if you don't address it, it just never gets addressed. Y'all, you have to heal. And this is me healing in front of you guys. What are some of your favorite snacks? Gosh, popcorn, Cheez-Its. What else do I like? Popcorn, Cheez-Its. I like pretzels. I like pretzel crisp with cheese. That's like one of my things. I like pretzel crisp with the string, like the little mozzarella cheese, whether it's like the Baby Bell ones or the string cheese. I like pretzels and cheese together. I like the charcuterie boards. Like, I love those. Oh my goodness, I love those. Yes. I like chips, y'all. Sam like chips. I like the tortilla chips. I'm big on nachos. Ooh, y'all. Tell you what, that's something. That is something for me. I like it. But my goal here, y'all, again, is for you to watch me get to my goals without losing my soul. Period. Getting to my goals, I'm going to get to my goal weight. I'm going to be at the weight that God wants me to be. And I'm going to do it the healthy way. I'm going to develop a healthy relationship with my food. I'm going to do this the healthy way. I'm going to become everything I've ever wanted to be, but I'm going to do it in front of you guys with the help of the Lord Jesus Christ, because I need him to do this, to walk this out and do it the healthy way. Period. Goals without losing your soul, because some people be achieving their goals, but they don't lost their soul in the process. That's a Dr. Darius Daniels thing, y'all. So let me not. Y'all know that's my pastor, Change Church. He says that all the time. How do you control water weight? You don't control water weight, unfortunately, sis. All you can do with water weight is look at the food that you're eating. You might be eating foods with a lot of salt. I found that I was eating a lot of salty foods because I like salty foods. I mean, it just is what it is. And so trying to get into foods that don't have as much salt. I'm big into fruit. I really am like a big fruit and vegetable eater. But I will say, like, this week, the citrus content like made my lips swell up. Like, y'all, I had a whole allergic reaction because I just had so much citrus. It's not good for you to have too much. Like, your mouth literally can't handle it. Like, it'll swell, it'll blister. And so you really want to control the amount of fruit that you're eating, but fruit is really good as well. Vegetables are really good. I'm about to make me some broccoli now. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm premenopausal, that's why I gain weight. It is hard. Listen, and the thing is, if it's a condition, you have to give yourself grace, sis. Are you married? Are you married? Her story. It's probably one of the longer videos I've done. Exactly. I figured you were. I don't know why I thought you were. I like my spirit was like she's married. You really gonna have to say, like, listen, this is where I'm at. And like if your spouse is good with it and he love it and you're just the only one with the issue with it, then I think that self-checking, y'all, if y'all are in a relationship with somebody that's in-house, I'm not judging anyone. If you're married, if you got a partner, if you got whatever that is, allow that person to help you be a sounding board, because sometimes we get ourselves mentally into places and spaces that we do not belong. We own and take on thoughts that aren't real. Utilize that second person. Utilize them. Because right now I got Soraya. And Soraya don't really, you know what I'm saying? She ain't really, she is the one that would tell me how beautiful I am. She's so sweet, my baby girl, but she ain't, like if you got somebody that's adult that can talk you down, have that adult talk you down, okay? Let them self-check you. Like you might be tripping about something that ain't even real, And that person, your helpmate, is there to help you. Let them help you. Shoot, let them help you. And if you don't have somebody to check you that way, develop a support system like I have. Develop a support system that's going to be like, Sam, you tripping. And my support system, y'all, so I have my therapist, I got my dietitian, I got my homegirls. Okay? That's like the people I call on. And of course, y'all, first and foremost, before any of these people, is God. You got to have a strong relationship with God. That's going to fill up your tank in ways that no body, no food, no weight on the scale ever could. So anyway, you guys, I hope this was helpful. I'm thankful for your time and your energy. Sorry I came on late, y'all. Atlanta traffic is crazy. I'm sorry. But thank you for tuning in. This was episode 4. Please like, subscribe, share. I will be on here. I have committed to weekly vlogs to update you on this journey. So please, if you know somebody that's struggling with something, if you know somebody that's struggling with the eating disorder specifically, or anything that they're dealing with, and they may need encouragement, they need, to be pointed in the right direction. If you feel like you're dealing with something, please comment, like, share. I'm down. I want to make content that is helpful, that is useful, that is edifying, that's going to do something for someone. This is not for me. We don't walk this journey of life for ourselves. We don't do it. We do this for the glory of God, and we help people. He allows us and positions us strategically to be bold and to be purposeful and to edify and love other people. And my truth, I hope, will set not only myself free, but set you free as well. To live unapologetically, period. Okay? So anyway, y'all, thank you for tuning in to my 4th episode. I love you guys. Have a great night, a great weekend. And let me know if there's anything you want me to expound upon next week. I'm down. All right? All right, y'all. Have a great night.